How's it and welcome, guys. I hope you guys can hear me fine and all of that. I didn't go through all my usual tests, and yeah, I hope everything's all right. How are you guys doing? How's the weekend? We're back at Monday morning, last week of the month, and yeah, I'm gonna be pushing a bit today to get some stuff done that needs to get out. Hey Polygon, how you doing, brother? I'm doing well. PL, how's it? Yeah, today I'm busy here with a bit dynamic stuff. I know this looks a bit weird. This is just how I set up my animations for these hip-hop pendants, because that's what we're going to be doing today. Well, this one's already mostly set up. Paulson, Ganesh, how's it, brothers? I'm doing alright, I'm doing alright. How are you guys doing? So we got like an animation. I've already set up most of it. I still need, I think, one more scene. It's gonna be looking something like this. And obviously it'll be cut off here for portrait view. But it's gonna be good looking something along the lines of this. Ooh, excuse me. And then yeah, moving stuff like this. So we've animated all of these things. And this is gonna go into this scene here where we are now. But yeah, I've got one more view to set up on it. And that's what we're gonna do here. Then I'm just gonna render out a basic animation grayscale. Well, these are what I call my grayscales. I don't like to use just white. I like to use black plastic on my diamond so I can kind of see where the lights are reflecting. Because if they're just normal diffuse, it's pretty hard to see where light is reflecting. Well, it doesn't show you the reflection at all. So that's why I like to use black plastic on it so that I can kind of see where my lights are reflecting. So pretty cool trick for you guys. APL, thanks brother, appreciate it. I must say I'm getting better at these hip hop stuff. It didn't used to be my forte. But I'm slowly but surely getting better at them, taking some inspiration from a guy I've done 2 videos with already. He's an amazing photographer or videographer, and taking a bit of inspiration from his stuff. So we're gonna put the last scene is gonna be similar to something like this, just the pendant spinning and then kind of going out. But I want to get some nice frames into it. Michelle, welcome. How's it? So let's get on this thing. Let's just go to scene 5 here. Actually, we can go to scene 1 and just push this. Create a new model set with this. It's gonna be scene. Oh, actually, this is gonna be scene 6. To scene 5. I've already. So let's put this one on here, and let's just get this thing nice in the center. Clear out all the rotations, as well as the camera's tilt. And yeah, I'll be trying to do that. How did I make the rotating model animation? Oh, I just used if you right click on it here, you can add animation, you can add rotation onto it. So for instance, this one here, I've got 2 rotations on it. You can kind of see I've got a translation and a rotation on it. So I'm translating it closer to the camera and it's just rotating. And what I did is I actually just twisted my camera angle so that it gives a bit of a more angled view than a straightforward view. So the model is actually upright. If I were to go and take the twist off, you'll see the model is slightly to the side. But that's about it. But yeah, Vlad, I do animate in keyshot directly. What am I drinking? You need one. I don't know if this thing is gonna blur out. It's blurring it out. But essentially, it's the white pineapple Monster Energy. I actually drink a lot of energy drinks on stream now that I think of it, because I watched some of my streams back last night, and most of them I'm busy drinking an energy drink. But who knows, maybe it is the secret sauce, and if it is, I need to have a chat with Monster once we're big enough on the channel. So let's get back into this thing here. I want to straighten out the camera angle. And I kind of want to bring this thing, just change the rotation here. And I kind of want to bring this thing in like this. Let's just put this to local. Just give it a slight twist. And then the idea is to maybe have it, oh wait, that's the wrong axis. Come in like this, flipping around and then going to the center while it's rotating. I don't know if you guys can visualize what I am. Hey Shwet, thank you brother, appreciate it. Oh sorry, I only see your comment now on Instagram. I don't know why my Instagram live, it for some reason it doesn't auto scroll the chat. I don't know why that is. Swap, how's it brother? So for those on Instagram, if I don't have a way to pull Instagram's chat into my streaming software where I'm monitoring YouTube's chat. So if I miss your comment, please just be patient. I'll try to remember to scroll down every now and then. But alright, so let's build this animation real quick. It's not gonna be that difficult. It essentially needs to move like this. And I think I want to have the camera also from did I already set up the environment? Yes. I'm actually using that environment we created on this stream a while ago. But I'm making slight modifications to it. Like you'll see here, there's a modification on it. Here, there's a modification on it. So I'm making modifications on it depending on the camera angle, and also depending on how the angle of the piece itself. So I need to first get a translation. Where's this thing gonna start? It's gonna start from roughly around here. And now we need to rotate it. So this axis is important when you're animating because it tells you where you need to make it go. So we're gonna put a translation in here first. And then this one here, I'm gonna make it a bit longer. Let's put it at like 8 seconds. And then the axis, I'm gonna essentially tell it, okay, listen, I know you guys can't see my animation screen. I can't fit everything on one screen, unfortunately. When I was working in Keyshot, I had so many problems with pivot point and local global axes. In some cases, it broke the whole animation. Do you have the same problem in some cases? I do, in fact. What I specifically had a problem with animating, sometimes the camera angles, I don't use a lot of pivot points and stuff, but when I have some camera angles at some point where there are different things, especially if the cameras are animated like with this twist, then sometimes you'll have a free camera, you'll zero out the twist, but then it'll rotate completely weird. It'll basically zero the twist angle on the angle that you had it. And then it's like flicking through the cameras to eventually solve the issue. Polygon, I'm not going to share the HDRI, but there is a video which you can follow along on how I built the HDRI. And then you can build it yourself. I don't really share HDRIs and stuff because I believe if you want to become better at this, you need to be able to know how to build it. For instance, I built an HDRI the other day while I was busy here. I built this HDRI over here, and I can show you here this. It's super bright though. Yeah, it's super bright. So I ended up building this HDRI here with some lights and everything. And I built it off of this one I saw here. I use this one as my reference. And then I built it off this one. I just didn't add like the stuff at the bottom and the square thingy. I changed it up a bit as I was building it. And okay, I know mine is centered. This one is also actually centered. It's just, it needs to be, oh wait, let's go. It needs to be rotated on here to like 90 degrees. Then it's centered. You can kind of see the similarity on it. I just changed a few things on it. Oh, the reference HDRI, I actually downloaded that off of iJoule. You can download it off there as well. Yeah, I would say the animation in keyshot is definitely, I don't know. I'm not that great at animation, to be honest, but the animation in keyshot is definitely, it could be a lot better, especially the keyframe, the way the keyframes work. Just want to see, is that gonna be enough? No, so we need to go like -50. Yeah, Polygon, you'll see it's one of the few ones that are there. Even the other one I recreated the other day was also from there. Okay, maybe I need to do -100. Oh, that might be too far. So let's do -75. Okay, so, and then, man, I'm not used to working with such a small timeline. So let's go and put this, create a separate translation for the, oh wait, so moving away from the camera. Why don't I use Blender for animation and import it into keyshot? To be honest, I am also not good at animating in Blender. That is why. Keyshot, even though it needs work, it's a lot simpler, and I'm only learning Blender, and there's so much going on in the animation with the keyframes and stuff that I didn't know how to do everything. Like if I know I want to turn something, you can't just basically turn it, or you can animate a ring with keyframe and you can just turn it. Then when it comes to adjusting the curves and all of that stuff, I don't know how to do that in Blender yet. And I do that especially with these that zoom in. I've got a custom curve set up and I don't know how to do that in Blender yet. I have checked out the AI in keyshot. I haven't really found a use case for it yet. I guess it's good for concepting and stuff, but I haven't played around with it too much. But yeah, it is there. Just want to see. Okay, we need a Z axis, so let's go 150 on the Z. I'm actually rethinking taking this, just removing this x-axis. I'm just bringing this thing back in there. And maybe just having it move out as it rotates. Maybe just rotate it moves out. Rotation. Maybe give it like a, oh geez, not that way. Just put it on the Y. And then we wanted to rotate at least 360 degrees, but I kind of want to slow it down there, speed up, slow it down. It needs to move further away. So let's go minus 250 on the translation. And then let's just add the rotation, add a little bit more rotation, maybe around another 60 degrees. What do I think about VO3? Would it take away work from visualizers? Not really. Because I don't know about you guys, but majority of my clients themselves don't know exactly how to articulate what they want. And AI is just going to spit out what you ask it to do. And the problem is the consistency on it. I don't think it'll be taking away any work anytime soon, at least. Eventually, yes, but not anytime soon. Let's see, that's gonna work. Okay, so now I need to go into the Can you show the render setting steps for TIFF? I set animation zoom, but it doesn't render. What do you mean by it doesn't render? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. So you see, I'll maybe do this on screen here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. But essentially, I'm going to be playing around with the curves now. So I wanted to kind of slow down here. Maybe not as much. Maybe around there it needs to slow down. So let's go and do that. Because I still need to put the inscription at the back. Finally got you live, bro, my super goat Rickhead. My team has learned so much from you. It's a pleasure, brother. I'm glad you're here. Can't find if you use performance mode when animating or only 3 material and basic GPU mode. Did you use CPU for any because it gives slightly different results? So I don't use performance mode because for the clear reason, if I go to performance mode, right? If we go here, you see how you can't see the shadows and stuff. Like I don't like that. It makes it for me a lot harder to visualize how the end product is going to look in performance mode. So I pick to use my normal mode. And then I just set up like a diffuse for the metals. I just colorize them, and then I set a black plastic for my gems so that I can kind of see where that is going to be. So it gives me an idea of what is going to be the dark areas, where's the highlights going to be, and all those kind of things. I don't know, performance mode just doesn't do that for me. Is this thing still moving? Alright, so ja. Moet ek hom nou vir jou stuur? Okay, I'll send it to you now. Alright. I had it generally giving a load of 100%, so I'm mostly ignoring it. So that's what I was wondering. Do you mean like the GPU load? Because yeah, it will give you a high load. Like mine is rendering here at 300 samples, 270 samples per second. So your GPU will always use 100% of it. But here it's just a lot easier to play in real time to kind of see what it would do. Okay, let's go back to this thing here. Because I wanted to go here. And then here it needs to speed up again. And slow down. Okay, so that needs to come down. This needs to come down. Alright, so you can kind of see, I like when it comes to animating with curves and everything, I'm still amateur at that. Oh man, wait, I missed a few messages here. Now you make your own diamonds, but input from Matrix Spaceship gives us a really hard time. Any advice? So I don't use the Matrix gems. What I would do is get yourself Blender and get yourself the Jewel Craft plugin. Right, it has a pear shape on there that I would say you can use, and it's free. So I would really get the Jewel Craft plugin. It's on a GitHub. So you have to download it from there, and then yeah, you just install that thing, and then you can generate a gem from there. So essentially what I did for all my personal gems, I used all the ones from Jewelcraft, and I basically rounded my edges slightly to how much I wanted to bevel them. I saved those gems separately, and then all of those gems are the ones that I actually use when we're modeling. Am I using any plane for it? It's just color black background. No, there's no plane or anything. Because this is such a heavyweight model. Well, actually, it's not a heavyweight model. It's just, it renders super slow. I do want to ask though, for those of you that have the latest version of Keyshot, right? I have noticed a dramatic decrease in the samples per second that my GPU generates on it. Now I'm running a 4090, but on the other hand, I've also realized that it takes a lot less samples for it to clear up. I don't know if any of you have experienced the same issue, because where I used to render these things at like 1,000 samples, it now only takes me like 100 for a clear image. Like I'll show you here. Let me just find it. I rendered out this sample the other day, and this is 100 samples, and it's a pretty low resolution. Even this one here, I mean, it's pretty clear. There's no noise or anything. It's only 100 samples. It is a low resolution render. It's like 1280 by 1280. But at 100 samples, there's almost no noise, which is strange to me, because usually with these kind of things, I always have super noisy scenes. And yeah, even here, like, there's no noise really. What about CPU? I haven't rendered with CPU really. The only problem is CPU just takes so much time to render. So I generally don't render with the CPU. I know you also need less samples with the CPU. I don't think it really gives you better results. In some cases it does, but usually they're negligible. Negligible. And yeah, so I just prefer to do it with GPU. Alright, so this is kind of... What's up? Wait, what?
I'm saying it.
Okay, I want to see, am I good with how this is gonna look? Think so. I kind of want to have the zoom here as well go a bit quicker. Yeah. Am I using an NVIDIA GPU? Yes, I'm currently using an RTX 4090. New cards of AI and stuff. Keyshot can use the new cards potentials. Maybe. I don't really know how you would use the cards frame generation stuff for rendering. Because essentially, I don't know a lot about how the frame gen stuff works, but for games, I know they basically look at it and then they create AI frames into it. Now, you can't really create an AI frame in a render because you still need to render out each and every frame. So I don't know if there's a way for it to basically generate an AI frame instead of an actual frame. And then if it does, how are you going to do post-production on that frame and everything? So I don't know if it really can work. Vlad, yes, with the denoise, the higher the resolution, the less samples you need. I'm aware of that, but I was comparing this to stuff that how I used to render. Now I usually render out these kind of videos in 1920 by 1920, and the thing is, I used to, even on my preview here, I had to go like 500 to 600 frames before getting rid of denoise, and lately it's just been a lot better. Is visualization your main source of income? Does pay enough in your country? Now as people aren't really willing to pay for it, they mostly just take screenshots. So it is my main source of income. I've got the visualization business, and the biggest issue is I also had it in my country where people aren't willing to pay for it. And there is a few that does. I started with people in my country for it, but most of my clients are based in America, Europe, and those kind of countries where the currency is a lot stronger. So I do work mostly for them. It pays a lot better. You get better clients, And for those that's not willing to pay my prices, they're more than welcome to go find somebody else. I don't do slave labor. And I actually try to be a lot more expensive than everybody else. So I just want to see if I'm happy with this. I feel like it gets stagnant here. And I'm guessing I need to do the zoom a bit more. Do that a bit less. Because I'm gonna fade out the video here by 5 seconds. So all right. So I think this is. I don't think anyone works for visualizers within the same country. Yeah, no. Most people are happy to hop onto Fiverr and all of those things, and it's one of the main reasons of all of my clients. I have a meeting with them first, and I get to know them because I quickly came to realize it's a lot more important to build a relationship with the client just to get a sale or a job or commission, whatever you want to call it, out of them. My best paying clients are the ones that I actually have known for a while and have built a relationship with. And I don't know, I think this works. I'm wondering if I should keep it a bit closer to the screen when it starts. I'm thinking maybe of bringing this. Oh, geez, not that close. Like bringing it forward 150 millimeters and then doing this. And mine is like 400. And then maybe even, let me just save here. Yeah, no, jewelry is very popular in America. Most of mine, funny enough, it's America, but more towards Canada side. So I service a lot of people in Canada. And then just like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami. But that is most of the clients. I think we need to do a little bit of depth here as well. And that also means I'm gonna have to animate this field. Alright, so I like to keep on my geometry view here when I do the depth of field thing. Let's close out that one. I agree, Vlad. Like, I look at a lot of videographers to get inspiration for my renders and stuff, especially very experienced ones, whether it be for composition or whatever the case may be. I look at a lot of their stuff to get inspiration on how to do the renders, because I didn't go to film school or whatever the case may be. I taught myself, so it's more of a thing of actually, where is this thing now, of actually just going and looking at what they're busy doing, trying to replicate that, and in the process you also learn from them. Yeah, no, and I don't think it will be there anytime soon, to be honest. I'm gonna have to copy this curve and place it on the depth of field so that it actually moves with the piece. maybe not as drastic. Man, it's hard to see on one screen what you're doing. So I'm trying to bring this back in here. And yeah. It all depends on your flexibility. 3D is a new kind of content, and we all just need to develop more, find interesting variations of views, share more dopamine videos. Exactly. You can't necessarily like there's some things you can do where 3D just works a lot better for it. Because I mean, you can manipulate stuff that you can't manipulate in real time, in real life. Like people try to the best of their ability, but even videographers will tell you there's some stuff that they just can't do with a camera that you can do in 3D. But that goes basically both ways, because there's some stuff on a camera that you can do that you cannot do in 3D. There's certain looks of a camera. I don't know. I've looked at countless videos trying to figure out how they actually managed to get the diamonds to look like that, or how the lighting was set up, or whatever the case may be. But there's some ways that a camera makes a diamond look that you just cannot. You cannot replicate that. All right. I'm just trying to find. Okay, that's fine. All right. I think I'm pretty happy with how this looks. And then let's set up the scene file here. Scene 6. All right. And then I need to duplicate this environment. And let's just call it scene 6. And I'm actually going to apply the rotation onto this one as well. Kind of just have a quick peep how this looks in the actual thing. Looking pretty nice. Oh man, I'm not liking that white out color there. I might actually remove the scene rotation. I'm not liking that plain white out color on it. Let's just zero in on this. Yeah, that works. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and do this. Put all the materials back. And then let's quickly render out all of these, what you call it, samples. Sorry, the new one, I mean the other one. I'm not sure what you mean, brother. But yeah, it is a new way, and if villagers used it the correct way, I think they can actually save themselves a lot of money. And I've worked with a couple of people that instead of producing pieces and stuff and trying to get a celebrity's attention or something, just render the thing. We're doing that now with one of my clients, where we're going to be, actually we're doing it with a couple of clients, where we're going to be rendering a piece, and they're going to try and get the person's attention with the rendering. And yeah, it's a risk. They're investing money into making a video of the piece and getting it designed and all of that, but they're not producing the piece, which is a lot less of a risk. So if you stay on the point of creating turntable animation stuff, Animate experiment do on-body rendering combined with AI user do need to note life is an education. Exactly. If you're just gonna do like commercials, I think that's the first thing that AI will replace once it's ready. If you're gonna be doing a bunch of other things as well, with a bit more creative stuff, then you should be okay. So let's go and render out some samples here. Just call these clay renders. Select, okay, so let's do the 100 samples, that's fine. And then we'll go to, we'll go 3, we'll go 4. I like this view on it actually. 4. We'll do 5. All right, and then 6. Did I set 6 up with the correct environment? No, I didn't. There we go. This is the correct environment, 6. So I'm gonna quickly render out these samples and piece them together and see. This model has no rounded edges. I'm actually using the rounded edges in keyshot to simulate rounded edges on this model, purely for the reason that it already has a bunch of stones and stuff in it, which makes it pretty heavyweight. And if we were to sculpt this one in particular, I don't know exactly what is happening, but it becomes super heavy. Like your triangles, I mean, shoots through the roof. Then they set like 30 million or something, and yeah, that's just crazy, and it's an insane amount, and it takes forever to render. How's the Discord community coming along? Pretty good, I must say. I've hit a bit of a snag. So if any of you actually know how to, with Discord, how to create, like, I don't want to say bots, but like implement stuff, like where I'm currently sitting with is, if you join it, to have you answer a few questions, agree to the rules, and then it assigns you a role. And I'm kind of stuck on that and trying to figure out how to get that working. Because currently it doesn't ask the questions and it doesn't assign the roles. So I'm trying to figure that out. But most of the Discord itself has been put together, and the permissions assigned, that's just getting the roles. And I don't know exactly how to do those things. So I'm kind of figuring it out. And I want to have one where you can react to, if you want to be notified when we go live, if you are using Octane or if you are using Keyshot. So if you tick the appropriate one, the appropriate channels will show. So as the community grows, let's say people don't use Blender or Octane or not interested in that, then they just don't tick the Blender and Octane, and they won't get all the notifications and all the channels from Blender or Octane. And it's just setting those stuff up where I'm stuck at. Like I've already created all the channels and permissions and everyth't. It's just getting those things sorted, and yeah, once they're sorted, then we can go live with it. So if any of you really know how those things work, please shoot me a message, because I still need to figure out how all those things work. Am I animating in 30 FPS or 60? I do 30 FPS. I don't really, like, you can do 60 for smoother stuff, but generally I do it at 30 FPS. 60 sometimes just takes quite a while. Alright, so the first clay render is done. It's going to be this part here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, we're at what, 2 seconds a frame. So I can make this bigger so you guys can see more of how it's physically rendering. But I mean, it's doing a good job, even just at 100 frames. Getting rid of noise and all that stuff. And then after this, it'll just be about putting together the stuff in either After Effects or DaVinci. I kind of like DaVinci. Like, there's some effects on DaVinci that's pretty nice. Maybe a bit of a dangerous question, but do you charge a client for render time, machine idle time? It really depends. Like, if I'm doing a big project that has massive amounts of rendering, like let's take for instance an e-commerce website where we're doing turntables. So there's a lot of times where the computer, like I had a project like that a while ago where I was doing about 10 to 15 videos, turntables that we were rendering overnight. And I did factor in the costs of render time into it. I don't put that like on their invoices and stuff because you don't want to confuse a client with all this stuff if they don't really know what it is. But I would put on, I've got a whole spreadsheet I created. Okay, listen, this is the amount of man hours that has to go into the project. This is the amount of rings. This is how long it's going to take. This is how many we need to render per day to keep up with the deadlines. So I do factor in render time as a cost. Like I can show you more or less here. I've got this whole pricing thing set up. Maybe it's not something I should be sharing on the stream, but let me take, for instance, this one is a bit outdated. I still have to revise this stuff. So, but if you kind of look here, we have visualization, render times, time to completion, all these kind of stuff that's set up, like the rendering time there. Like I say, okay, it requires 10 minutes to render, there it requires an hour. Some stuff needs more to render, all of those kind of things. Then I factor all of this into costing. Actually, I can close this. Okay, so that one's done. What does it look like? I feel like this one needs a few more lights somewhere. I'm not seeing enough reflections on the diamonds, really. Might need to add a pin or two. Okay, we'll get to that as well eventually. Just for example, cannot count on the hourly work as a rendering. It's a bit unfair to the client if I say, this is so many hours, so I divided and say here will be cheaper because there is the rendering time. Oh brother, I'm not really understanding the question. You're saying you don't really count hourly work. Like I also don't bill per hour. That pricing is more for me to realize how long something takes me to complete. So it's been done with testing. Okay, on the standard turntable, how long does my PC take to render it? How long do I take to set it up? And then that's just my time that goes into it, because how I run a lot of my pricing is based upon what do I want to be paid per hour, and I adjust my rates according to that, but I usually keep it rounded. I don't invoice clients per hour for work. I would tell them, listen, this work starts from around this price and it goes up depending on complexity, length of the video, all those kind of stuff, because that's the longer it is and the more complex it is, the more time I'm gonna have to put into it. But I don't do hourly charges, because I find with hourly charges, there's always going to be a loser in it. Either you're going to become very quick and finish stuff in half an hour or an hour, and then the client is going to be overpaying you, or you're going to take forever and then the client is also going to be overpaying you. And as you get better and more efficient, you're going to start getting paid less if you charge hourly, at least if you're honest. And I don't think that's fair either. I believe that if you can do something at good quality or the same quality or even better than most other people out there, and you can do it quicker, that doesn't mean you should be cheaper. It actually means you should be more expensive. But it's just more, for me, it's an easier way to keep track of how much I want to be paid per hour technically. And then I factor that into my pricings and everything based upon stuff from historical data of how long it took me to do certain things. Oh no, like stuff like that, not really. The only place where my stuff is a bit different is when it comes to these hip hop pieces and to an engagement ring. Like three stones to 30 stones it's different. But when it's not really that much of a render time increase. But if you're going from a 3-stone engagement ring to a hip hop piece that has 800 or 1,000 stones, your render times are going to be tremendously longer. And not just that, even working on the piece is going to be a lot slower. It's going to take you a lot longer. So I do charge more for that. Especially if you take CAD work, it takes longer to design. There's a lot more that goes into it. So all my hip hop pieces are more than my normal engagement ring stuff. Just because there is a lot more work that needs to go into it. How many hours a day is there that you need to work? Is it a fixed schedule, or do you work whenever it suits you? I do not work whenever it suits me. So usually I get up around 5 o'clock in the morning. Then from 5 o'clock I would quickly read my book for half an hour, then it's off to the gym. Then once we get back from the gym, shave everything around about 7:30 or 7:15, 7:30, I'm done. Then I come up to the office, and then usually I work up until about 7 o'clock at night, so it's about 12 hours. Sometimes it'll be longer depending on how much stuff I have to get done. And then I go down and make food or prepare food or whatever the case may be, and I need to be in bed again at roughly between 9 and 10 p.m. Because if I will go to bed later, then I struggle to get up at 5. So I would say on average it's about 12 to 14 hour days I spend working. But this stuff, we're on frame. I'm excited for this frame because this is similar to what I see in like let me do a shameless, or not a shameless promote because I'm not promoting myself, but let me quickly show you guys what I'm talking about. So if we do, this is one of the videographers I look at a lot at, Cash. He does some amazing stuff. We did this video together and this one as well. But if you look at the what you call it, the videography, so this is the 3D rendered part, and then it goes into the videography. Oh shoot, sorry about that, my phone just flipped on me. You can kind of see how that movement got kind of inspired by that movement, and that's kind of what I want to do with this one here. I have completely screwed up my camera here now. Hey Ansel, what position is your team divided into? Does everyone do everything? I mean, sketch specialist, CAD modeling, render specialist. So currently it's just me doing rendering. Then I've got 2 other CAD designers, and I have a friend as well. We work together on projects every now and then. That also does rendering, and we're about 4 people. But I'm currently in the studio itself here. I'm the only one rendering, and then we have the CAD designers. But so this video is pretty cool, and then if we look at some of the other ones, just how the movement of them. So this is also pretty cool. So I like to look at these videos for like inspiration on how to edit my videos and everything. I usually does some cars and stuff as well. I remember this one was pretty damn cool. It's gonna come now, the part of the ring. So they have some 3D animation in this as well. Actually, this is not 3D, this is the ring. But yeah. You see like the twisting animations. I really like that. Looks very cool. But yeah. Anyways, let me just bring back Instagram on here. Hey, CAD facets. Yes, I am using keyshot. I want to practice rendering but don't have any jobs, and I'm not ready to be charging people. Any idea where I can get some practice while being productive? Well, I would honestly just go and look at some videos that have been either videographed or rendered and just try and replicate it. And that's kind of how I did. Like I started again now. I used to do it a lot, but I started now again with taking inspirations for renders. So like I'm currently trying to replicate this for renders, these sceneries, and I just go and look at the reference and I try to mimic this. And I was actually finished with this scene here. I had everything set up, and just before I finished it, my freaking keyshot crashed and I lost my progress on it, so I have to redo it again. But I'd usually do this on a Sunday or something where I try to not work on projects unless it's very urgent. Then I spend those days just creating something that I want to create. Without any other piece. I choose a piece, I choose the setting, I choose how I want it to look and everything, and then I just go and try and replicate some stuff, and I learn some new things from it. Use Gobo. Did you check out this guy, Alban Murley? What do you think about his job? Wait, let me have a look here. Alban Murray on Instagram. Alban Murley. Oh wait, you sent me this. I remember I had a look at these things. Now he does some awesome stuff, man. And I saw this as well the other day. This was sick. The video for this was absolutely sick. The gravity thing. And I really like these kind of stuff. I just have no clue on how to create these kind of things in 3D. But it looks very cool. This should be fairly simple to create in 3D. But like this liquid stuff, man, it's insane. It really is very cool. Use Gobo? I'm not sure what you mean by use Gobo. What kind of environment I use in keyshot? Well, brother, it depends on the scene. I use quite a few different environments. It just depends on the scene and the type of piece. But he shares a scene so you can check it. Awesome. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. think the biggest thing with freaking Blender, it's just it's so overwhelming with the bunch of stuff that's there. Oh, let me see. One of these camera angles are done. I'm very curious on how this one came out. I'm kind of liking that. For practical render learning Houdini. Wait, what? For particle render learn Houdini. Good luck with that nightmare. Yeah, I've heard Houdini is pretty good. Use a Gobo to get the result you want. What you showed before. Oh, Gobo, you mean like the lighting. So I didn't end up using a Gobo. What I ended up doing is using a spotlight and just putting two planes there. But a Gobo might actually make a bit more sense, yes, because the issue I had with the planes was that it was showing up in the reflections, and that's the only issue. And you can untick it from the reflections, but it doesn't show the geometry behind it. It still blocks geometry, then it's just black bars. So yeah, Gobo might be actually a better way to go about that. I'm liking how this scene actually came out. And then I think this will actually work well. I like this shot. And then we just have the last one here. Guys, I'm gonna be right back. I just quickly have to run down to the bathroom while this is finishing. So I'm just gonna do this in the meantime. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So how much you take charges of this kinds of videos? CAD facets, it really depends on the models. So like my hip hop stuff will start these kind of videos anywhere from around $750. Depending on the complexity and all of that, and that means we're doing the CAD modeling for the rendered version, and we put together the video, the post-production, and all those kind of things. Have you tried to do a combined render with video footage to get a more realistic result? We have actually. That was the whole point of this stuff that we did here. If we take this, where's the video? Like this. So this is combining the video with the videography. So you'll have this as the render, and then it switches over to videography and everything. So we do that, but not between all the scenes. Another one was the ape one here, that we kind of did this whole thing. And oh yeah, look, here's Will Gibbons as well. By the way, for anybody that wants to learn keyshot, go check out Will Gibbons. I'm sure most of you know him already, but he has amazing content. I learned a lot from his channel. And he also has scene files which you can download and follow along. I don't know if this is what you meant, Vlad, or if you meant by having like rendered stuff in between a couple of cuts, but we did like the intros to these kind of things. And yeah. So let's see. Okay, we are done with this one here. So let's go and just save here. And let's go put this thing together real quick. Think I might actually just use DaVinci for this. And then, yeah. Just putting all of these samples together. Have you done any Will Gibbons paid classes yet? No, I have not yet. I actually want to buy his material masterclass and the animation masterclass for keyshot. It's just I haven't gotten around to doing it. But I think it's definitely worth the money he's charging for it. Okay. Let's have a look and see what we're working with here. Or just kind of how the video looks together. Oh wait, I need to put this thing in the portrait thingy. And then let's do this. Okay. And let's just put all of this at 1.79. Okay, cool. So now we can get a kind of an idea of what it's going to look like on the phone. Like obviously I need to do some cuts and stuff. And I think it's gonna look pretty cool. But you know, now more and more people want lifestyle content, so you can use a cafe shot and add decoration to the frame. Oh yeah. We have done similar stuff to that. Not per se in the jewelry side, but with skincare, we did one recently with skincare product that like drips onto the Big Ben Tower, and everything turns into like flowers around it that forms. Did you use motion blur for a video like this? I don't like to render with motion blur, so usually I just apply motion blur in here. So I would go and do the motion blur here, add it onto this one here, and then maybe decrease it a little bit. And because I find DaVinci's motion blur works exceptionally well for some stuff. And the motion blur also adds to the render time. So if I can do it in post-production rather, I'd rather do that. And it still looks natural. If I take it, so, and then let's add it on here as well. So like you can kind of see it blurs out some of this stuff here. So I like to use it that way instead of rendering out the motion blur, just using it in post-production. And that also works. And then you can apply that on here as well. You can kind of see and then from here it'll kind of fade out. Well, actually we'll cut it a bit shorter than that. And from here it'll fade out and the logo will come in. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm also trying to move away from After Effects and then rather using DaVinci. I just feel like DaVinci works a lot better and it does a lot of things well. Just want to do this and we'll bring this in here. And then we'll look at some translations here. I like to have like this brightness flash one I like to use for these kind of videos. And then we'll kind of just bring this one in a bit. And then yeah, and yeah, I don't think really I'll maybe time this a bit sooner just to kind of match it up. I think it should look better. Yeah, that's almost perfect. Just need a little bit more. Oh wait, I've got a gap here. So, I'm in. I need to pull it out just ever so slightly, just so it starts turning. There we go. And then we should be good. There we go. Yeah, it really like After Effects chows on the RAM. I prefer DaVinci. To me, it feels like a much quicker workflow. Which software is this for video editing? This is DaVinci Resolve. The free software. They have a paid version as well that has some stuff that the free one doesn't. In particularly like the video we did the previous live on, which was how to add the glaze, so that's only available in the paid version. Yes, the MP4, this is just for the test version. I'll render out it in TIFF frames or sequence in layers for the final. This is just for me to kind of get how the animation is going to be put together and stuff. So I'm trying to think now. Maybe here we'll have to add a transition in this one here. Just a quick transition. I kind of like the... Wait, why can't I add a transition here? Okay. Here we go. No, we can't do a zoom. We need to like have a zoom out or something. Keyshot does have a multi-layer EXR. The only problem I found with the multi-layer EXR, it's a lot bigger in size than the TIFF where you render out the layers. So I prefer to use TIFF, and it's also still a 32-bit format. So I'd rather do that. And multi-layer EXRs, they work, but I don't know. It's not my favorite kind of workflow. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. And then let's see. Just zooms out a bit too quick. I need to add a quicker. Or do we need a transition for here? Can't we just maybe? I don't know. No, actually, it's funny. It's not smaller. I tested it. So if you take the entire folder where you render your sequences in for EXR, and you take the folder for TIFF that has its own layer rendered out, it's actually smaller than the multi-layer EXRs. So I prefer that because, as you know, the stuff can get the sizes of the videos can get pretty big. I need to end this thing before it slows down too quick, so I need to bring this back still. So let's take out the brightness flash. Let's bring this back. Oh geez, that's way too far. And then let's bring the flash back in here. There we go. That looks a lot better. And I need to shorten this thing a little bit. And then we have our camera angles. I might actually just add another angle somewhere, maybe on one of the wings here on the sides for this style, just to have another angle. Did you use TIFF compression? I don't know if it's compressed, because the keyshot just tells you this, it's TIFF. I don't know if it's compressed. So like, yeah. So I just use TIFF. You can get TIFF 32-bit as well, or you can get the EXR and you can create a multi-layer one that way. But I just like to use the TIFF one. I think we might need to add one more camera angle from like this. You have a great sense of composition. Thank you. It all comes with practice. I can tell you that it's not something that you just have. It's something you practice. And like I say, this isn't really my sense of composition. This is me looking at videos of what other people are doing and just replicating that. So I'm actually stealing their sense of composition, to be honest. So let's add another camera on here. And let's just call, okay, that can be camera 7, it's fine. And then I'm gonna do a bit more of a close-up on this parts here. And I want to actually copy the animations from this camera. Animation, or well, I'll have to probably do that in the scene tree. Copy animation, add animation. Oh, I can't paste an animation on here? That sucks. Oh wait, no, I can. Paste animation, there we go. So let's go to camera 7. Oh, that's actually looking very nice. I might not do the entire rotate thingy. Maybe I should, I don't know. But start this from, oh shoot. Okay, hold up. Let's just choose a pivot point. Let's choose one of those ones. No. There we go. And man, I'm loving the way that's looking. Oh, go ahead, brother, please. Feel free to steal it, because I'm also taking a lot of it inspiration from other people's stuff. And the real tricky part is actually just creating the thing to look like theirs. That's the real trick around it. You're not really stealing anything, and it's to create it. I mean, I've got a friend, his stuff, I want to show you this cool thing he did. Layer based. So he did this cool wobble animation, almost like camera twerking. It was on, which video was it? And I actually asked him to show me how he did it. It was on this video here that he did it. You'll see now. It's a very cool, I really like that whole wobble thingy. Oh, what happened to my camera? Oh, guys, sorry, my camera just died. Let me do this in the meantime. Because my phone actually died. So let me do this. And I try and use this thingy here. I don't know how well this is gonna work out. But okay, this is my normal camera. Yeah, there we go. And let me just position this thing a bit more downwards. There we go. I might actually need to adjust it. My phone died, so yeah, my camera went down. Oh, I have no idea. Let me just fix my camera here. Some technical issues. There we go. Are you leaving?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. I am, it seems. Give me a second.
Yeah, but it looks nice.
Yeah. All right. Technical difficulties all over the place. All right. Do you have a HRI rotating, or is it just the camera rotating? So I have a HRI rotating on it as well. I'll probably beat my procrastination and start posting on my Instagram account and make a mark for you. No, bro, definitely do it. I get most of my clients from Instagram. Majority of them find me on Instagram. You've been finding me from YouTube. Oh, why is my camera doing that? Okay, so let's see, and then maybe just let's go copy this animation, paste animation. Man, that's also looking sick. All right, so let's render out this part here as well. because I'm liking the looks of this quite a lot. And then let's quickly render this out as let's just call it 7, even though it's gonna go into something else. And while that is busy, let me just try and fix my freaking camera here, because my camera is now all, I see my microphone even in it. There we go. Fixing issues on the live stream, it seems. And then for those on Instagram, sorry, I'm gonna pull up your stuff now. I might have missed a few messages. Okay, no, luckily not. Funny enough, there's not a lot of people on Instagram watching. It's like 2. But that's fine. It's nice to see the whole process thingy anyways. And I'm really liking this kind of angle on it. So you can't really see it on the stream, but it is gonna be like a ground reflection as well. But yeah. So let's see if this thing is gonna be working properly now. I've got another pendant that, or not a pendant, it's more of a necklace that we're gonna be doing after this one. I wanna render it on a bust. This one I'll queue tonight overnight, and it will probably do post-production on it tomorrow. I do have a problem with intersection of metal and rocks, which breaks refraction. On some things I do. So I found a thing with keyshot. It is very finicky with it when you disable or enable the intersecting geometry to remove it. So if you use Boolean difference a cutter for your stone, and there's just a little bit of metal going into the stone, and you say ignore intersecting geometry, it's as if it doesn't pick it up. So what I've found is to either not Boolean difference at all, or Boolean difference entirely, or take all intersecting stuff away. But there's no really in between. Then it's like keyshot, ignore intersecting geometry doesn't work. So like these ones don't have any Boolean difference to them. And they'll look pretty nice in the end render. But as soon as there's just a little bit of metal, it's like keyshot doesn't really know that it's intersecting the stone. I don't know how it determines that, but yeah, it becomes an issue. And you guys can probably clearly see the quality of the webcam difference on my webcam to my phone. Actually, I have to charge my phone. I forgot to put it on charge while I was using it as my camera. No, it does work with GPU mode as well, the ignore intersecting geometry. I've never tested if it works better on CPU, to be honest, because I don't render with CPU. Haven't seen you on Booleans. Oh, Behance. Yeah, I don't have a Behance profile. I don't know if I should do that or not. I know Behance is like a little bit more professional version of Fiverr, but I don't have a Behance profile. And to be honest, I don't know if there's no point in it. I've never tried it. I am deliberately not on Fiverr or Upwork or any of those platforms, because the quality of clients you get on there, yeah, it's not great. And I don't like the fact that Fiverr keeps quite a bit of the profits as well. And yeah, I'm just not a fan of the whole workflow on there. I'd rather be in control of my own payment methods and all those kind of things, because I don't know, I don't like paying them a cut. Like even with PayPal, like I don't really like to use PayPal as a payment method because they have so much fees. So I only use it for smaller orders because most clients are comfortable with that. But generally, we don't really do many orders below $500. And once it goes above that, it's better just either do a wire or pay in crypto. Have they recently added that? No, I think the intersecting geometry has been in keyshot and GPU mode since I started using it. So it's been been a couple years that it's actually been there. I can't speak to if it works better with CPU mode. I actually have never tried it. So let's go ahead back into DaVinci. We've got our next one here. And let's maybe add this in here. Slot this in there. And let's see, we might have to do the same on this one like we did with the other one. Oh, shoot. Have to make this one bigger, 1.79, boom. Oh man, I'm liking the looks of that. Alright, cool. I think we are set with the composition of this video. I don't think there's much more for us to do on it. But Behance is more like a social network for finding clients. You don't have to work through it, just like ArtStation. Yeah. I think Behance is, in my unprofessional opinion, I think it's similar to Behance is like LinkedIn or the LinkedIn to finding people, as opposed to like Fiverr being the Facebook. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a bit more professional and everything from what I've seen. It might actually be worth looking into getting a profile on there. It's maybe not on my top priority because most of my clients come from Instagram. Like I ran an ad now recently and spent like maybe $70 on the ad for 14 days. And I must say it brought me a hell of a lot of leads. And if all of them go through with their projects, it's a very worthwhile investment in the ad. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe it might be an idea to go on to Behance to do it. Man, I'm really loving this shot. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but the diamonds are just looking like they're reflecting in all the right places. Oh, here we go. So that being done, the only thing that's left on here is to add the motion blur onto this one as well. And there you go. Will they use real diamonds in this pendant? Just, if I'm not mistaken, it's not very good when there are no diamond holes. They will look a bit poor. They will be using real diamonds, but this is not for production stuff. This is just the render CAD. But they will be using real diamonds and stuff for it. So I think this is good. I'm actually curious to see what this would look like on here. Oh, and it's using scene 4, perfect. So this is kind of what we're looking at in terms of the final image. And I'm kind of liking it. And yeah, awesome. But yeah, it's almost impossible. But you see what I mean, like here, right? Here's the images already. Let me just do this. Sometimes it struggles. But I mean, here we're getting to about, well, it's set 8 frames a second. I don't know why it's so slow, but it's already cleared up. There's no noise or anything, and we're not even at 100 samples yet. We're at 100 samples. And there's no noise in the image. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that with keyshot. On clients for rendering, how can I find them? Well, brother, make it as easy as possible for them to find you. And that is doing some marketing, putting stuff out there, content out there as much as possible. And, you know, one thing I used to do is message a bunch of jewelers and offer to do some stuff for free for them. And it doesn't have to be insane stuff. You can do a free turntable or some commercial renders or something for them for free. I can guarantee you're gonna have to message more people than what you would expect, and you'll get much less people to take you up on the offer that you would expect as well. But that is my best advice for people trying to find clients, is make it as easy as possible for clients to find you. Be involved in various social media stuff, keep posting, start conversations with people and everything. How do I fix the over reflection in metal? So what I do is, let me show you quickly here. I'm gonna take the depth of field away. So like this metal, let's put it like that. So it's actually set up in an advanced material type, but I've actually downed the value on it to 85, because as soon as it goes to 100, you get that reddish over reflection. So what I do is I just bring that down to 85, and then that reddish reflection would rather be darker, which is a nicer look to me. And I have a video on my YouTube where how I set up my materials with the refractive index in advance, and you have the diffuse essentially to black, and just your specular is on the color that you want it to be. And then you can tick and untick Fresnel. I untick Fresnel, because with Fresnel you can set this up to higher, but sometimes the metal appears too dark for me even then. So I untick Fresnel, and then I just lower my value on it to get rid of the overly reflective parts. I don't know in Octane, because Vlad, if I'm not mistaken, you mainly use Octane for rendering. How you it there? I know this looks a bit like these scratches are heavy here, but in the video we're not like doing close-ups like this. It's just there to add some subtle imperfections in the video. So let's do this. Scene 7. Scene 7. And I believe that this thing is done and dusted. So we'll quickly move on to the next one. I just have to check if the CAD is completely done on that one for the stuff. So let's close this out. Already saved, so that's fine. So let me quickly check out if the CAD is done on this one. If it was placed on the thingy. CAD. Sorry, I know you guys can't see my screen right now. Just get busy on a separate one. Let's have a look here. It's gonna open up the Rhino soon now. Smart and obtain just different shader calculation, I think. Yeah, Like Octane, I haven't really found that problem in Octane. I don't know. I haven't used Octane a lot. I've tried using it a few times. It's so overly complicated setting up everything. And then I end up just going back to keyshot. But I need to force myself to do Octane a bit more. Just want to see quickly here if this thing is properly set up, because then we can start with this one in the next. We'll start setting up the scene for this one, because we're gonna be doing this pendant here. Oh man, and it's slow to respond. Okay. So that should be good. I actually want to bring this in. What do you think about Blender rendering? CAD facets, Blender with Octane, yes. Blender with cycles for jewelry, no. I wouldn't recommend it because cycles has no way of actually calculating dispersion in it. So that is the biggest problem that I find with cycles, and people have ways to get around that for diamonds and stuff, but it doesn't have a dispersion thing for diamonds. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it. What about color management? Do you use aces? In Keyshot, yes, I use aces to render out all of my scenes. So let's start a brand new scene here for this thing. And I'm actually going to open up the scene again and just delete all the stuff and save a separate scene. So let's do this, 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 and this. And then we'll kind of go back to the default, delete these model sets, and kind of go here and delete these ones. And go here. I might actually keep that one camera angle, but not necessarily for the camera, but just to keep that animation. And then I want to file save, no, not save package. I'm gonna save this as the next one. This is gonna be just necklace. And let's call this necklace animation, save. And it has dispersion, but it's much more complicated. Yeah, like I've seen setups where they like pull in a bunch of different stuff into it, just to be able, I don't know, to mimic dispersion. Perhaps it does. I really don't know, but yeah, for me it's just it makes what's supposed to be simple very complicated, and I don't like that. So let's just take the twist animation away from here, put this at -90. Oh, and you see here's the thingy I was talking about, the weird thing, because now this thing's at -90, but you can clearly see it's not. It's now doing that weird thing, but okay, let's remove this from here. And let's quickly set up this thing, rotate on the x-axis. Let's go -P. Let's place this on the ground. And oh, man, why is this doing this? So it has gone and assigned diamonds now to each of these things. Okay, let me just do this. Let's go in here real quick. Just delete that. And close the studios real quick. Bring up this. And let's go. I'm just gonna search for Ruby real quick. And then put this on all the red balls. No, that's not gonna work. Amethyst. Put this on all the purple balls, and emerald. Put this on all the green balls. All right, so first things first, we need to do that. Drop this to like 1. Ignore that. Drop this to like 1. 1, and ignore that. And then we can bring in the metals onto this, and I believe this thing is also rose gold. It's looking pretty nice. You see, like these ones, they've not been boolean difference. If I go and hide the green balls here, you'll notice it's not boolean difference. So it calculates it the right way. If there's actually no little or just a little bit of a cutout. If you have any questions on Blender Octane, I'll tell you what I know. I'll pull you into my section. No, that's fine, brother. Like, I wish I could just make the transition from keyshot to Octane. It's just, it does take a while. I'm not sure. People agreed it's better classically. Yeah, well, there's no blue balls on this one. And then this, we'll need to make this like I want to do a suede on this color. I've got a suede color set up here. And I know this one's like a gray suede. But I'm going to make it black just now. With color adjust. Bring the value down. So we have like a black suede kind of going. I might just make this slightly bigger. There we go. And I just need to have a look at the stuff here real quick. But Vlad, I'll definitely, if you want, invite you to the community, because perhaps you'll be able to answer a lot more questions on the Blender Octane stuff. Just guys, by the way, like glad for you, for instance, now it's not that you're going to be obligated. It's there if you want to help others with it, and who knows, maybe there will be some other people also that has experience with Octane, which can help. And the idea is just to grow a community to get help specifically with certain things. Because yes, there's a lot of channels for Blender help. I don't know of any other Discord for keyshot help. Like, I used to be on Will Gibbons' Discord for keyshot help, but he closed it. So the idea is to bring back something for keyshot users, and then because I'm transitioning over to Blender with Octane, to have that there as well. And as I learn, I plan on sharing stuff on there as well. So I'm kind of already liking where this is going, but I don't understand why this camera angle. Oh shoot. That's not working at all. Anyways, let's go to 0, go to -90, Why does it do that though? Like, this isn't minus 90. This isn't 0. Like, you can clearly see on this thing here. This is the camera glitches that I was talking about, Vlad. That where it happens when you use a camera angle and then it just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. And then on this environment, I'm actually thinking it doesn't look too bad. But what I wanna do for the intro scene is probably something slightly different. So I'm gonna use one of these for my intros. And well, let's just do this first. And maybe I should just do like a one light thing. You know what? Let's maybe do a one light thing. Let's take an interior. So this is something that I've been doing recently as well. Like, I'll use an interior, HDRI, and then I would go and, oh, not the size, but I would go and drop the brightness of the background completely, just so there is something from the interior. And then from here on, we can actually start adding in lights and stuff from here. Let's see, light maps. Let's use one of these rounded corner ones. And then let's just make this thing color. And let's make this thing a bit brighter. Let's make it like 3. You see, like that's what I'd like to have it as. So we have it for the intro. I might start it from maybe around here and just having it do that while zooming out. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of the intro. Starting it there. Let's set up our camera real quick. And we'll use some depth of field. No, what did I just do, man? 23, 0. Turn off depth of field. We'll have it there. Let me just create a new camera so I don't lose these settings again. And actually, it should be a little bit more there. Oh, now minus 90 works again. Okay, cool. And then UPS, sorry, miss a lot. My client just sent me a big parcel of gem and jewelry example. Oh, awesome, brother. I'm just busy trying to set this thing up. So let's go. I actually want to zoom in on this. So, and then we'll do like an environment rotation. Maybe not zoom in that much. We'll probably end up... Why is this stuff so high? Okay, let's rather keep it there. And let's do this at like 112. Oh, geez, okay. And then we'll do like 300. ATHO. DBS keyshot should implement a thing to animate pins. I definitely agree. Like, that'll be an amazing feature to have in keyshot. I want to do a short one here though. I don't want to do it as big or as long. because the first 3 seconds of a video is very important. So maybe we make this thing a bit thinner as well. And then we just add some brightness to it. Maybe even more brightness to this one. And then, yeah. Hey, Prince, like lights features implemented on pins. No, I definitely agree. It'll be an awesome feature to have, to be able to animate pins. I mean, and it's not that hard. I mean, there's a software out there that's pretty new. It's not, in my opinion, it's not that great. It's got a lot of work to do, Light Tracer. And they already added a way for you to animate pins, which is awesome. I don't know if I should have this light this big. And then how far is it going? Needs to go about 460 from 260, maybe. Oh, I think my keyshot just, no, it didn't crash. Almost thought it did. So let's just save this scene real quick. Light Tracer is a bit better in animation and keyshot. I don't know, I haven't really used Light Tracer. I can't really speak of but their render is junk. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Light Tracer renders, and I haven't seen one that actually looks good that I think is worth having the software. Just want to see something here. So the diamonds obviously here looks horrible. But we're not working from here, we're working from here. And the glare effect on the diamonds in Light Tracer, I'm not a fan of it, eh? Like, it's cool that they have it natively, but I'm not a fan of the glare effect. Like, honestly, it's, I don't know if you have a control over it that much, but from the renders I've seen people make on the glaze, I'm not a fan. Let's see how this looks. Maybe not. No, let's keep it to one light. Just for the intro. I think the zoom is also a bit drastic, so maybe we should do it like 150 and start it from like 110. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. So before I go ahead, let me just do this. Set up this thing here, make this thing just a gray diffuse or something. And let's quickly set up the rest of these ones and just remove these colors. Well, actually, before I do that, I need to confirm what color this thing is gonna be. I think it's rose gold, actually. I just need to quickly double check it. Yeah, it's gonna be rose gold. Green, blue, and red. Oh, there is actually blue balls. It's not green, it's supposed to be blue. It's actually supposed to be blue, not green. Let's just quickly have a look here. Yeah, they're gonna have to be darker than this, so... There we go, that should be good. The red ones as well, I feel needs to be a little bit darker. Maybe slightly more. And I think they need to be more on this end here. Just an ever so slight pinkish color. And then same goes for the green ones. Just ever so slightly darker. Maybe I can just yeah, maybe around 60 should be good. Okay, so this is actually going to be rose gold, so we can get rid of these other... Oh fuck, my keyshot just crashed on me. Luckily I saved. Luckily I saved it. Hey Polygon, I appreciate that, man. Man, I can't believe my keyshot just crashed on me. That's seriously annoying. So these ones are actually blue. Make them slightly darker, a bit more saturated. Just give them a little bit of color as well. That looks a bit too purple though. There we go. Slight bit more blue. And then these stones as well. Let's get them back to where they need to be. Alright. And let's just save again. Looks like it's gonna be one of those scenes where I have to save constantly. Let's get this down to like 60. Put them at like 18 just so they have some color. And then, yeah. Multi-material, let's create a new one. Make this one just green. Like a green plastic. Maybe just a darker green plastic. So we can kind of see the reflections on it. This one as well. Let's do this one like a bluish plastic. Darker blue plastic, there we go. And then set up this one as well as like a red plastic. Just so we can kind of see where the reflections are going. And then set this up as a diffuse, but like a 25, 35. Just want to save it up again. And in this one as well, we'll just put up a diffuse on this one. Just a slightly darker color. Just so that we have enough to just render our animations with. That's a very good trick. Yeah, it's just so we have our animating stuff. So that we can still see shadows and everything. Yeah, no, it definitely helps to see the reflections on it, and so okay, so let's see here. We have our environment. We're gonna be using this one here. And then I kind of want to put a backplate on this just for the thing to cut off the lighting a bit more. I don't know if I should drop this brightness of this environment still. It's not really that bright. but and I'm tempted to rather use a different kind of light for this thing. Maybe something that has a bit of a fall off, you know? As opposed to this one here. We actually go and put this one in here. Put the angle at like 90. Having it in the center. And just putting the brightness up. So it has a little bit of a fall off. Why does this thing look so white? And it should make the gems also look a little bit better. Yeah. And something I actually want to do is add a few small pins that's actually going to cause some nice reflections on it. So we'll do like a small pin that like brightness 50 or something. And it can even be smaller than this, just to create some nice effects on the diamonds so that we get the top parts as well. And there, maybe one somewhere around here. Just a couple of bright pins, you know? And that'll actually give us some nice sparkles as well. Like you'll see here some highlights every here and there. Okay, so we can even maybe introduce bloom just to kind of see where those sparkles are going to be. Let's just do like a 20. Especially closer up. There we go. All right. So we got that environment set up. Let's remove this one here. We'll use this one for more closer up renders. Yeah. And I'm wondering, I'll probably animate the entire thing. Just give me a quick second. I just want to go quiet down these dogs. Yo. What's up? I was asking. Yeah. It's close to the garage children. So let's set up a different scene real quick. Oh wait, before I set up a different scene, let's do the important part first. Let's go and call this the bust, and then we'll call this the rose gold, and then we'll have 3 different things for the balls here. So we'll have rubies, we'll have sapphires, and we'll have emeralds. I just need to open up the gate here real quick for the guy that works here so he can have lunch. Pumi, some of you might have seen him on the Instagram. And then we should have all of this stuff set up here, so we can get rid of that layer and we can get rid of this layer. And then that's a little pro tip. When you are doing multiple model sets and you want different scenes, then basically set up your layers before you copy your objects over to a different scene so that it actually drags over. Else you're gonna have to go do it for each scene. I just want to quickly open up this gate for the guy. Do you work with basic stone? Did you have some experience with Swarovski colors? I have no experience with Swarovski colors. Generally, I go off of a reference photo of how it looks when I do the colors. No real, how can I say, color accurate stuff. Because especially in the color gem world, there is so many variations in it. And I'm actually going to be playing around with a new node for this one. For the colors. So Octane has, not Octane, Keyshot recently introduced a random color node where you can differentiate the colors just ever so slightly. And I'm going to be doing it for this video on the color stuff. Just to get slightly different shades of color than as opposed to manually setting it up. So I actually want to see, let's play around a bit with that, because I just work with 20 colors and that's a bit complicated. I can imagine it's a bit complicated. So let's see, like for instance the rubies here. Right, so I don't know exactly how this stuff works, but let's kind of figure it out together. So from what I understand, there is a random color node that you can plug in into a map. Okay, so it needs a map. So let's go textures. Let's maybe do a noise. I don't know, noise map. And then does that go into the color node here? Oh, I actually cannot plug in a color into the gem. How stupid is that? That is pretty stupid. So I cannot plug in this node into this color here. That really does suck. Man, that is actually very stupid. That is actually very stupid. So I'm actually not going to be able to do it with this one. I'll have to do it with a dielectric material because I believe, yeah. So I just want to, for the sake of the example, put this stuff in here. Random color. So how does this work? Huh. Okay, so I need to bring down this to like 1. And or do I need to do something different? Random value maybe? Okay, I see. So you'd have to plug in this into the transmission. But how does that work? Maybe just transmission distance? No, that doesn't do anything. So I opened the old keyshot file and realized that I always worked with dielectric material with colors. Maybe it's more flexible to color pick. Yeah, the dielectric material is a lot more flexible. The only issue is it never has the ignore intersecting geometry. So usually I use dielectric materials if I need to achieve a certain effect on a center stone. But you have to have your Boolean differences because it doesn't allow for ignore surface intersections here. This is gonna bug me now. Because do I need a color composite to do this? But this is really gonna annoy me. Because how do you now... That's not doing anything. And if I adjust this... Okay. And source alpha, let's do like a... Can I plug in a color gradient into source alpha? And let's do like red on the one end. I don't know how this works. That's why, okay. Yeah, so that's why it didn't work for you. Wait, but can you do, if I'm in CPU mode? No, but I don't have a ignore intersecting geometry on CPU mode. And I gotta figure out now how this shit works. I'm just not sure how to do this stuff now though. Cause the seed? Yeah, the seed will like change, it changes the value, but now the thing is I don't have control over the color this way. So I can't do that just on the transmission out. The transmission out has to stay white. So would this then be on transmission distance? I don't think so. I'm not seeing a difference in the like color variation here. If I put it in transparency distance, because that's normally how you would control your brightness and your darkness of the colors, which tells me this is more or less what it should do, right? But it's not doing anything. You see, so that is kind of what I want, but it's not doing it in the transparency distance. So I gotta figure out how am I gonna create some color variation with this random value. Maybe I have no idea. Because I could potentially use this as a map I don't know if this is gonna do anything. No, it's not doing anything. And the old version of keyshot, when I turn on no intersection mode, they go completely black. I just checked. So that is very weird. If they go completely black, right? Try taking one stone, making it ever so slightly smaller, scaling it very much smaller. So what I found is with Boolean operations, sometimes I use what Rhino calls a box edit. And then I just make, after I perform my Boolean, just make all the stones slightly smaller, like very incremental. You don't really see it on a render. Hey Gecko, I'm doing good, bro. How are you? Sorry if you sent this a while ago. My Instagram feed is not scrolling on the chat. So, how does this shit work now? This is gonna annoy me. So let's do this real quick. Let's quickly go over to keyshot. And I want to quickly have a look at how they saying this new random thingy works. Have they made a tutorial on it? Keyshot random node. Oh, gnome node. Pixel fondue. Okay. No, this is color curve randomizer node. Wait, would that be a better option for this? I'm gonna turn the music back on here. Rather than the random value using the wait, what? Curve color. But isn't that an animation? Color fade? Recommendation from YouTube, install crack. I'm guessing they use the color fade animation for the colors, but that's not, I'm not looking for an animation. So it's definitely working here. When we take, it definitely varies the colors. Wait, I've got an idea. I don't know if it's gonna work, but let's go into color composite. Let's put this in the background. Let's take our, I'm just gonna use a random color, put that as a source, plug that into the transmission, and then just completely scale this up. Well, we're not gonna use this for that, so let's just make this the red of the ruby. Keep it at 60, slightly more red, a little bit less than that. Okay. Oh man, let's just use the same color. And then in here, oh, but it fades out the color still on this one. What am I missing here? Like colorize, red maybe? I'm gonna figure this shit out now. Somehow, I'm gonna figure out how this shit works. Oh, there we go. Okay. So. Okay, but I don't need the color composite then. I can get rid of the color composite, just put this into transmission. And then there we have our variance. So, oh shoot. So here we have, so this is how it works now. This is not supposed to be like a tutorial or anything, but I'm just figuring out shit for the first time. So you're gonna plug your random value into your color adjust, colorize this shit with the color adjust node, and plug that into your transmission. And then let's just keep these at default values for now. I want to make this slightly purple. Not slightly purple, slightly pinkish color for the rubies. And then you can adjust your seed like that, and you can set your min and your max values. So here you can kind of set it to how big you want the variance to be. I'm guessing the way the smaller you go, the less variance you're gonna have in your color. Yeah. So this way there's a lot of variance. And then the higher you go, it has less variance. Well, more variance, but the effect is less. Okay, so that works. You know what I'm thinking? Can you actually animate the seed? No. Okay. I remember when I was creating an animation for a ring with 17 gemstones, I had to create different color combinations for the customer to show the color combinations during the main motions. Oh, yeah. Then you use the color fade animation thing with it. Yeah, I don't really like those kind of scene stuff, or doing those kind of animations. Like, I'd rather render it separately. But yeah, color fade stuff can work. Okay, so I kind of figured out now how this thing works. Well, sort of. But the issue is now you can only do this on a dielectric. You can't do this on a gem material. Which is honestly stupid, if you ask me. I can imagine. I remember one of the most complex animations I did in keyshot. I probably should have animated it somewhere else. But for me, one of the complex ones was probably this one here. I'm going to show you now. Oh yeah, this video here that I built completely. Wait, let me play it with the sound for you guys. Let me just pause here, and then let's crank up the sound here. So I was animating this stuff in keyshot. Man, that timeline was freaking stupid. It looked silly. This was all standard basic stuff, but yeah, the what you call it, that way the text appears and all of that stuff, the timing and shit for it, it was horrible doing that. This section here in the beginning, animating that in keyshot, yeah, it sucked. But yeah, that was probably the most complex animations I've done in keyshot. Let me bring this back here, Instagram. I feel like I'm neglecting my Instagram views. I'm sorry, it's just this chat doesn't update by itself, and I wish I just could pull it into my thing here. Hey Polygon, oh, thank you. But yeah, it was horrible rendering, creating that animation. It took me so long in keyshot to do it. Alright, so we can have our... Oh, keyshot, are you gonna crash now? Let me just save keyshot real quick before it crashes. So we can have our different colored stuff, but it has to be dielectric. Good thing to know when you want to use that. It sucks that you can't change the colors or do that with normal gem materials. All right, so enough screwing around. Let's animate our camera. Vlad, from what I've seen now, it's not possible to put something in the gem material socket. It's like it doesn't have that little thing. You can add it in the roughness or the opacity, but not into the color socket on the gem material, which sucks, honestly. It really does suck. Guys. Oh geez. All right, guys. I might have to continue the stream a bit later. I want to quickly go and eat. I see it's already freaking lunchtime. So I'm gonna go and have some lunch and everything. And then when I'm back, we'll go live again. When I'm back, and then we'll start finishing up on the scene or creating some stuff. That's super stupid. I think they need to fix that. Agreed. There's a lot of stuff Keyshot has to fix. I must say the latest update with the light linking is really awesome for jewelry. I don't know how much I'll be using it. It is amazing that you have it, but yeah, it's just physical lights in here. It still slows down render time so much. But yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. I'm gonna go have some lunch, and then when I get back, we'll hop back into this. Cheers, and then until then.